arriving. We've already reported that Donald Trump has made his way, walked through the St. Peter's Basilica and is taking his seat. But Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has now also arrived at the Vatican to attend the funeral of the Pope, joining other global leaders in a solemn tribute to the Pontiff's legacy and spiritual leadership. To give you an update, bells are currently being played as we are only just minutes away from the start of the funeral mass, which we expect to take an hour and a half. Thomas Porteous, I will come back to you. Of course, the world has been mourning this period in which we will see at the end of this funeral service will take 9 days. Why is it that the world has been touched by the death of Pope Francis? What was significant about his reign as pontiff since the last 12 years?
Hugely significant figure. The Pope is the head of the Catholic Church, which is a religion that 1.3 billion people around the world follow. And I just want to bring you some news. We have currently world leaders paying respects to Pope Francis's coffin. That includes Donald Trump, that includes Prince William, and we will continue to bring you more updates in regards to that. But as you've said previously, he was a very uniting figure. We saw leaders of different religions, different cultures, all paying respects, including the head of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, paying his respects when the Pope died. We saw Vladimir Putin paying his respects. We saw Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi paying their respects. So that goes to show, although it's not a political position per se, he very much had influence with people of serious power all around the world and from all different types of cultures, continents and demographics.
Yes, Thomas, absolutely. Just to inform our audience, if you are just joining us, we are covering the Pope's funeral service, which will be taking place and starting in around 4 minutes' time. The Pope has been laying in state for the past 3 days in St. Peter's Basilica, and he will be carried out to St. Peter's Square. He was in an open coffin while members of the public were able to pay their respects. The coffin has now been closed ahead of this service. It's located just outside the front doors where the Pope will be placed. Here we have some visuals for you now showing dignitaries who have arrived at the Vatican. This is live from St. Peter's Square, where dignitaries, this is the area in which dignitaries, world leaders and heads of states will be seated, other than Giorgia Meloni and Javier Milei, the Italian and Argentinian leaders. Of course, the Vatican, a very small state inside of Rome and Italy, and Javier Milei, Argentinian leader. That is where Pope Francis is initially from. They will have a special place to sit away from the dignitaries. And talking of dignitaries, Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and Prince William, the Prince of Wales, have paid their final respects in front of the Pope's coffin from inside St. Peter's Basilica. Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban, Sweden's King Carl Gustaf and Queen Sylvia, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, and Argentina's President Javier Milei have also arrived for the funeral service that will be starting in a couple of minutes' time. These shots that we are showing you from earlier on in the proceedings, the Pope's coffin open before it was then closed ahead of the service. The funeral mass will be held outdoors. where the heads of state and tens of thousands of mourners will gather, along with members of the clergy and also cardinals and bishops. The ceremony beginning at 10 a.m. local time, expected to begin in around a minute and expected to last for an hour and a half. After the Mass has ended, Francis's body will be transported to the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore in Rome for burial. Well, joining us to discuss the significance of this ceremony is Dr. Anthony Sami, Professor at the Xavier Institute of Natural Resources, who's joining us from Ahilya. Thank you very much for being here, Dr. Anthony Sami. What is the significance of this ceremony today that is about to get started anytime now?
Yeah, this ceremonial funeral is a significant in history because it's a Pope who is a leader, not only a religious leader, but also he has occupied his heart and soul to the people all around the world. And this is a significant because people are showing their respect to him, and a person who has have humanity in his mind and soul. And then today, this is a remembrance in the history. A person who has a different, unique ideology of bringing the whole humanity together into the whole fold. And this particular, the loss that we, each and every one of us, we feel as a Catholic Church and also the whole world, all the leaders are there feeling the vacuum. And they're kind of a longing to have such kind of a person in the future. And also there's a loss that is a person who is always a progressive man, who is this particular, is a kind of, giving farewell to him. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, Dr. Anthony Sami. How, for you, will Pope Francis be remembered? We're having some technical issues with Dr. Anthony Sami, so I will repose the question. What is the significance of Pope Francis's reign, and how will he be remembered, Dr. Anthony Sami?
Yeah, as I already said about the significant ideologically is that he brought everybody together, not only the Catholic, but also the people, those who are neglected and those who are need of love and concern. So all these people just...
Dr. Anthony Sami, I apologise to have to cut you off. We are receiving these live visuals of this ceremony getting started. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see bishops, cardinals taking their places ahead of this service, which is starting imminently. Of course, it's scheduled to start right now, and it's expected to take around an hour and a half. You can see Pope Francis's body in the coffin at the back of this image. It will be carried out from St. Peter's Basilica out to St. Peter's Square in the Vatican City. To give you an idea of you can see the visuals, but the sounds, bells will be ringing, prayers will be heard. There is, of course, also a high security implementation from local police because, of course, the level of world leader that is present, heads of state that are present, but everybody will fall silent as this process and this ceremony gets started imminently. Well, Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky have reportedly held a meeting ahead of Pope Francis's funeral. According to reports, the meeting underlines the diplomatic opportunity that this event has presented, with world leaders and royals from across the globe converging on the Vatican. This meeting comes after Trump said a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia was very close. But now that meeting has concluded, of course, all focus is on this service that we will be seeing very shortly. Just to update you, what you can see here is cardinals and bishops